at 215 Huntcliffe Terrace.
Do we have any public comment cards? We do not. We'll close the public hearing. You've heard the report of the Planning and Zoning Manager. What's the desire of council?
Mayor Paul.
Dr. Kelly.
I move approval of agenda item 2025-266, resolution to approve a Metropolitan River Protection Act certificate for River Corridor Review, RC-25-05SS for 215 Huntcliffe Terrace.
Have a motion by Dr. Kelly. Is there a second? Second. Motion by Dr. Kelly, seconded by Mr. Paulson, that we approve agenda item 2025-266, a resolution approving a Metropolitan River Protection Act certificate for 215 Huntcliffe Terrace. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. The question is on agenda item 2025-266, the resolution approving a Metropolitan River Protection Act certificate for River Corridor Review at 215 Huntcliffe Terrace. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Thank you.
The item is approved. Moving to new business, the clerk, please read the first item.
This is agenda item number 2025-267, consideration of a resolution to approve change order number 1 to the contract with East Coast Grading, Inc. for additional resurfacing work and authorize the city manager to execute the change order, presented by Public Works Director Marty Martin.
Mr. Martin.
Mayor and Council, good evening. Tonight I'd like to bring before you a request that you approve a change order to the existing contract we have with East Coast Grading, the firm performing our 2025 LMIG repaving project, in the amount of $1,319,562.70 for additional resurfacing work funded through the Local Road Assistance Grant from the Georgia Department of Transportation that the city received earlier this year. On May 20th of this year, the Mayor and Council approved the award of the contract to East Coast Grading for this year's paving program in the amount of $6,466,000 and another $760 for the FY 2025 LMIG grant resurfacing project. Following contract award, the city then received the LRA distribution from GDOT, which had been unanticipated but welcome just the same, in the amount of $1,276,784, which allowed the city to extend ongoing resurfacing efforts. Based on the 2023 Pavement Condition Index assessment prepared by MDS Technologies, the city identified further street segments, primarily out of what was to be our candidate FY26 list, for repaving, and requested a quote from East Coast Grading, and those not in 26 would have been 27. So we looked at candidates across the remaining 2 years and requested a quote from East Coast Grading to include that work. The proposed change order adds the LRA-funded resurfacing, striping, and related improvements to the existing LMIG project. To that end, East Coast Grading submitted a proposal for the additional work in the amount of $1.3 million, $1,319,562, slightly exceeding the rest the LRA distribution. To that end, we recommend funding the remainder out of Project T3000, our capital repaving program, to complete the work. Staff has reviewed the current pricing and determined it's consistent with the unit prices under the current contract, provided as the low bidder from East Coast with the initial award, and recommend award of the project. This additional work would extend the contract performance period by a period of 60 days and establish a new project completion date for this overall project work of June 20th, 2026. With that, Mayor and Council, any questions?
All right, you've heard the report of the Public Works Director. What's the desire of council?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. DiGiulio.
I move approval of item 2025-267, approve change order number 1 to the contract with East Coast Grading and for additional resurface work, and to authorize the city manager to execute the change order.
We have a motion by Mr. DiGiulio. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. DiGiulio, seconded by Mr. Paulson, that we approve agenda item 2025-267, a resolution approving change order number 1 to the contract for East Coast Grading for additional resurfacing work and authorizing city manager to execute the change. Any discussion? Mr. Baumann, then Mr. Paulson, and then
Marty?
Dr. Kelly.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to go ahead and extend without any bidding on this?
We looked at the timeliness, we need to complete this paving work by the end of June. That was a stipulation within the LRA. And so looking at the timetable of rebidding the project vice the project we just awarded to East Coast Grading, which they were the low bidder in that circumstance, we selected the more expedient route rather than opening bids. Our fear was running that bidding into February, March next year.
Is that,
and
absolutely understand the logic
Okay.
of that. Is that consistent? Is this not a policy exception to do a no-bid contract with this kind of change order? It's not a change order, or is it a change?
It's additional work, it's additional scope on top of the original scope that we had for the project. So we originally had a scope of work that was bid out last year that included asphalt repaving, et cetera, city streets across the city, X number of miles.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable
yeah.
with the precedent this sets.
Okay.
So you're saying that the timing is the reason for it?
Primary reason, yes, sir.
Okay.
And with that, we did get the lowest bid pricing. So the unit prices are extended.
When was that process that yielded the current bid, the current basis of the pricing?
All
What
right.
is
We
the time-
awarded that contract on May 20th of this
All
year.
right, so 5-6 months later.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else that can be done with this money, or is it specifically for paving?
There's nothing else we could do quickly that I would offer you. So LMIG does allow a few options like pursuing projects, et cetera. But again, at the end of the day, that money has to be expended by the end of June.
Okay, so it has to actually be paid by the end of June?
Yes, sir. We have to complete.
Okay,
the
just
work.
out of curiosity, what other things could we do with it?
We could pursue sidewalk projects, for instance.
Yeah,
Again,
good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. So other roadway-related projects, maintenance and repair.
That's $700 a foot, too.
Yeah, so-
Is the list down here, below here?
It's on the attachment, the list of streets to be repaved,
Okay. All right, I am concerned about the precedent, but
right?
I guess best case, if this body decided to table this until, I guess, December 2nd, and then how fast could you, if we were to say, we want to know how fast you could bid it, how fast could you bid it? What's the speediest timetable you could do to bid it?
I don't think we could get bids in and review the bidders. Should we try to rely on the fact that we would have known bidders that have good references and we're ready to award. I don't think that could happen any more quickly than, say, 60 days. And then that would put us under the gun. We're talking about 60 days additional right now to execute the work.
Well, do they pave in December and January? I mean, oftentimes we don't pave during those months.
So we expect this work to commence late January, after the contractor is mobilized,
Okay.
et cetera, to do that work. So it depends on the weather. Sorry, it's a depends answer now, but it depends on the weather, when the plants are open based on temperatures. It's usually 45 and rising for asphalt pavement. So whenever that condition is there, we can pave. We'll expect to be able to pave early spring. That's been the history around here. So
I'd like to hear from my colleagues.
Mr. Paulson.
Thank you, Mayor. So a couple of things you said here are important. You're saying the contractor that you've approached, he's using the same unit prices for the work as he bid the original work in May with?
yes, sir.
Okay, so it's not like he's changing his square foot
No,
for
so
this and square foot for
there
that.
would be, say, some of the miscellaneous mobilization, et cetera, costs, that different streets than he bid the first time, that would be but the cost for asphalt, and Mitch, correct me if I'm wrong, but the asphalt prices, the repair prices, all of those are the same. It's just the mobilization on particular streets across the city that would be different in this case, slightly different. Okay, so price of asphalt, price of striping, et cetera, associated with it.
And does that translate down the price per square foot? And typically, construction work is price per square foot. I'm checking to see, is price per square foot on the 1.3 extra the same as the price per square foot essentially that we got from this contractor back in May?
Yes, sir.
That's how the world
It
works.
is.
right?
So his prices are consistent. So he's given us the same price for the key elements of the work. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that gives me some assurance. And then the other question is, I've had several people that have had their streets paved that they indicate they don't get a whole lot of notice. Sometimes it's literally the night before they're going to come out and pave a street. So I guess my request in addition to this is tell this contractor, as much notice as you can give a neighborhood that they're going to pave a street, the better off we are.
And,
Because
and
night
some of
before
that,
stuff is
some of
just
that's
not-
on our staff as well. So we've talked about that with some of the late notice that we received. One thing we've tried to do to improve visibility on paving schedule, we do get a 2-week look ahead from the paving contractor. And so every 2 weeks, the Inside Sandy Springs update comes out. And within that is you see the capital projects tab within that.
But that's not the same as notes going out to the neighborhood saying,
No,
we're fixing to pave your street next week.
So, and there's
And that's what they're
also,
complaining to me about.
there's also A-frame signs that physically go out on the street in
Marty, they're
advance.
this tall.
Yes, sir.
They're not very big. So anyway, whatever we can do to give them,
Yes, sir.
maybe a little more notice would be good.
We'll take it for action. Yes, sir.
Dr. Kelly?
Yes, I wanted to know how the additional, I guess, 19, 20 projects were chosen. The
By
stretch-
virtue of PCI score, so we had a finite set of dollars to work with, and so we tried to find projects that would fit within that, find PCI scores within the candidate 3-year list that would fit within the program. So it wasn't necessarily the next worst street on the list as we marched through it. We tried to find those segments that would fit together to create a collection of streets to repave this time, all within the 3-year program.
So what would you
PCI
say the
scores.
score range is for these added projects?
Low 60s at the highest, and into upper 50s for PCI scores across the board.
Okay. What would you say is the most efficient way for a member of the public to get a sense of where a segment is scored, a segment they're interested in?
The best answer we can offer is to ask us. It's customer service inquiry. Ask us where their street is. We can give them a forecast. And for instance, if the PCI score didn't put that street in the 3-year program, we'll give them their score that went along with their street, and then we'll also be able to. You can use a predictive method of degrading the street over time. So, and our staff can advise them on when that probably lands within the realm of it's due for repaving. And usually it's about 1 point to 1.5 points per year degradation on the PCI score. So for instance, if they had a PCI of 70 10 years ago, they're at 60 to mid-50s now is where they should be based on natural progression as a roadway surface. But then there's other variables involved, traffic on the roadway, et cetera, the conditions of the subbase as it might infect the surface that can also influence how that normal progression goes.
And where are we currently in our 3-year cycle? Are we coming up to
So this is the 2025 LMIG paving program. That's the contract we awarded to East Coast. And this is the first year of the 3 years of the cycle.
This is year 1. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Anybody else? Yes, Ms. Mueller.
So I'm going to second what Mr. Paulson said. Marty, I had, over the summer, several people come up and say that the signage, and it is kind of small, so
Right.
I think that is something that would help the neighbors a lot.
All right.
All right,
Noted.
any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. The question's on agenda item 2025-267, a resolution to approve change order number 1 to the contract for East Coast Grading, Inc. for additional resurfacing work and to authorize city manager to execute the change. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The item is approved. The clerk will please read the next item.
This is agenda item number 2025-268. Consideration of a resolution to authorize the city manager to execute the proposal for plan year 2026 and approve the City Springs payment of health benefits as presented by Liz Aubrey, Human Resources Director.
Ms. Aubrey.
Thank you. Honorable Mayor and members of council, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with you this evening. I'm here to provide an update on the city's health insurance program, an essential component of our recruitment and retention strategy and a key driver in remaining an employer of choice in the Metro Atlanta municipal market. City staff recommends that Mayor and Council authorize the city manager to execute the health benefits proposal for plan year 2026 and approve the annual health benefits payment effective January 1st, 2026. A little bit of history. In September, the city received projected 2026 health plan costs totaling approximately $9,732,120, subject to final employee enrollment choices to continue our plan benefits with Cigna, which is under budget. Our 2025 costs totaled $9,305,325. We have been with Cigna as our health insurance provider since 2014. The 2026 projections incorporate an introduction of a third high-deductible health plan and reflects an overall increase of 4.9%, sorry, big difference there, covering the 479 employees and dependents for a total of 1,127 people, or belly buttons, as they like to say in healthcare, covered under our plan. Given our consistently high claims experience and broader market trends, this rate is actually highly competitive. Importantly, we are not recommending an increase to employee premiums for the 7th consecutive year, preserving our competitiveness and attracting and retaining top talent. We did have our broker go to market and had multiple providers decline to quote, including Aetna, Anthem, Captive Resources, and Kaiser Permanente. We also looked at United Healthcare for a fully insured rate, Health EZ, which was level funded, Benecon for self-insured, and had quotes ranging between 17% to 29% higher than our 2025 rates. This year, staff conducted a self-insurance feasibility review. One study through our broker returned neutral results, while an independent study concluded with the Cigna renewal at 4.9%, we were better off fully insured for 2026. Despite that, we believe self-insurance remains a long-term opportunity for improved controlled costs. Staff recommends reevaluating this option next year. We are transitioning our dental plan to a self-insured model for 2026, allowing us to test our approach with minimal financial exposure. With that information in mind, I'm happy to take your questions and open the discussion. We do have our relation insurance broker, Senior Vice President Jim Stewart, here as well as our new Risk and Benefits Administrator, Ashley Fontanez, who recently joined the HR team, who possesses significant HR and benefits experience and has specialized in self-insurance benefits programs for the last 5 years. Right behind me. Thank you. Any questions?
All right, you've heard the report of the Human Resources Director. What's the desire of council? Mr. Paulson.
I move we approve agenda item 2025-268, authorize the city manager to execute the proposal for plan year 2026, and approve the City Springs payment of health benefits.
We have a motion by Mr. Paulson. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Paulson, seconded by Mr. DiGiulio, that we approve agenda item 2025-268, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute the proposal for plan year 26 and approve the City Springs payment of health benefits. Any discussion? Mr. Paulson.
Thank you and welcome. I've spent a bit of time looking at this, and this insurance industry is changing, obviously pretty dynamically, both for the positive and the negative. And that doesn't include the Affordable Care Act. It's just insurers. Insurers are backing out of cities, et cetera. But there's also alternative ways of doing this, which I'm glad you're exploring. Mm-hmm. And I guess I look forward to hearing in more detail throughout next spring what we're finding and what alternatives there are. We're spending a lot of money here, and if there's a way to save money, still cover our employees, and not make the insurance companies as rich as they currently are, I'm in favor of it. So please keep us informed.
We could not agree more, sir.
Okay, good.
Mr. DiGiulio.
Ashley, thank you for all that information. It's a lot of information. you said that our employees' cost would not be going up. Did you say for the second year or the seventh year?
6, 7. Sorry, I wasn't actually trying to plan that. The 7th year.
The
Like
seventh year in a
7
row, our employees have not had an increase in
That is
their,
correct.
in their costs. Well, I think that's great, because one of the things we try to do, of course, is to keep the best employees we can and give them the best benefits we can. And if we can do it without affecting them, I think that's a real positive. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Any other discussion?
And I will say our new high deductible health plan will actually make us a little more competitive in the marketplace, because there are several other municipalities who offer this option as an employee-only cost that will be at no cost. And obviously, the deductible is higher, but you'll see on this particular slide that provides another option that will, they have a deductible that's a little bit higher, but it's a great option to bring us more into the marketplace.
Do
and
we
compete.
currently offer one of those plans?
We will be in 2026, assuming
Okay, so
that
we're
you guys.
introducing that, and that's the one where they contribute, it's like a health savings account.
Yeah, so we have one now, but we don't have this second one that's put new plan on the slide. That is where the employee will not have to contribute a premium amount every paycheck, which will make us even more competitive.
And those have significant tax benefits to the employee, too, over the long term, where they can eventually withdraw all that money out of their tax-free.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. The question's on agenda item 2025-268, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute the proposal for plan year 26 and to approve the City Springs payment of health benefits. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The item is approved. The clerk will please read the next item.
Thank you.
This is agenda item number 2025-269, consideration of a resolution to approve an increase to the confiscated assets fund budget. This is presented by City Manager Eden Freeman.
Ms. Freeman.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The item before you now is a request to amend the budget for the Confiscated Assets Fund. The specific request is to authorize a transfer of $100,000 from Confiscated Assets Fund balance to Confiscated Assets Small Tools and Equipment account. The funds have been expended for the year, and additional funds are needed so that the police department can purchase lightweight shields that will be used by our officers when they are responding to specific calls for service. That cost is estimated at $64,000, but so we can prepare in case there are any other small tools and equipment that may be needed during the year. We're requesting an additional $36,000 for a total budget amendment of $100,000. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
You've heard the report of the city manager. What's the desire of council?
Mayor Paul,
Dr. Kelly.
I move approval of agenda item 2025-269, a resolution to approve an increase to the confiscated assets fund budget.
Motion by Dr. Kelly. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Dr. Kelly, seconded by Ms. Mueller, that we approve agenda item 2025-269, a resolution to approve an increase in the confiscated assets fund budget. Any discussion?
I have one
Dr. Kelly.
question. And this might be more of a Tony question, so let me know. What's the best way to track the confiscated assets fund balance? I know there's a page in the unaudited.
It should be
financials,
in the monthly financial reports, but I will need to ask Tony that question, and she would be here tonight, but she was one of a very select group chosen for the Government Finance Officers Association's Leadership Academy this week in Charleston.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
So I'll get that answer for you,
Okay,
Dr.
no
Kelly.
problem. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. The question is on agenda item 2025-269, a resolution to approve an increase to the confiscated assets fund budget. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The item is approved. Moving to reports, just got a couple of things. One, this Saturday is our 20th anniversary picnic out on the green. We look forward to continuing the celebration of the 20th anniversary. Everybody gets to bring their own food, or they can acquire food here if they wish. But it'll be another opportunity to celebrate our 20th anniversary this weekend. Also, we've got the Sparkle Parade coming up right after Thanksgiving, which is our biggest one yet. We'll have more floats and more people and everything else. So Want to invite everybody else out to come. It's December 7th. Is that correct?
Yes.
December 7th. So it's become the highlight of the winter season around here. So I'm looking forward to everybody being able to participate. And as I say, it's bigger and better than it's ever been, and we keep growing it year after year. So I'm looking forward to that event again. Does anybody else have any reports? Mr. Paulson.
Thank you, Mayor. So many of you are aware of the fact that Georgia 400 Managed Lanes project is kicking off. It's getting started. They're clearing trees, going up 400. They actually started way at the north end, and they're working their way back. But they're in Sandy Springs now, cutting down trees. The contractor left a little door hanger on some of the houses for the streets right alongside of 400, but there really has not been much fanfare, much notice about it. So my question is, can we get this contractor in here as soon as you can get him in here and get an update on what's happening, introduce themselves, what the progress is, what's happening, what the schedule is, and keep us and the community informed about their progress. Now that they're starting to cut trees down, I'd rather be told ahead of time what's happening rather than find out from a neighbor that got a door knocker or door hanger.
Councilman, we've been asking GDOT and their contractor for about 2 months to come and give an update to council and the public on their work that they are doing. The latest, and Marty can correct me, the latest we heard last week is that they would not be able to come out and give any updates until after the first of the year. I had hoped to have them on the work session agenda tonight, but they were not available.
So they gave a briefing at the last PCID meeting. It was very simple, very high level. In fact, it was way too high level for me. I'd rather get into the details of it. So they did come to PCID to introduce themselves. The least they could do is the same darn thing coming here.
That's what we have said, but we'll follow up with them again tomorrow and see if we can do something before the end of the year.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
One of the things I forgot to mention, which was one of the highlights, was our Veterans Day celebration. We had one of our local leaders, Frank Weiser, who I've watched grow up as a kid here, and I know other folks did the same. I had so many people tell me that it was the best one ever. I mean, anytime you can combine high-speed flying in Hollywood, you've got a heck of a program, and Frank did a phenomenal job. Very proud of him. His mother and mother-in-law were here to be part of it, and a very good crowd of people were here. And then we went across the street to Veterans Park to dedicate the Blue Star Memorial or plaque that's in Veterans Park, which recognizes the service of all veterans. So it was a very good day for veterans, and again, that's one of the highlights of our year is to celebrate our veterans, and I think we did it in high style this year. So thanks to everybody who was involved in participating. I know Tibby and John, it's always an important day for them, and you both work hard on this event, so thank you. And thanks for getting Frank down here to participate. Anybody else? Dr. Kelly.
All right. Over the past few days, had an opportunity to attend a really enjoyable fundraiser sponsored by the Sandy Springs Arts Foundation. They do really great work in our public schools. Also, over the weekend, there was a massive food distribution event in District 2. And so I just want to thank all the organizations that were involved. This was led by the Link Community School at North Springs High School. A lot of students, a lot of churches, just everybody giving out food. And also, I want to invite my district out this Thursday at noon to have lunch with me at the Bistro at River Ridge, which is right in the north end. It's about as north as you can, it's about as northwest as you could go at 9040 River Ridge. That at that office building. So just come out. It'll be Thanksgiving themed at noon, and yeah, I just wanted to share that. Thank you, Mayor. I yield.
Anybody else? All right, Mr. DiGiulio. Oh, no, excuse me. We got staff reports. But Tony's not here for the unaudited financials. You have
I'm
them?
happy to pinch hit for her.
All right.
All right. So if you could scroll to page 1 of the financial report, These are currently the September 2025 unaudited financials. We're at 25% of the fiscal year, and our revenues are currently at 9.85%, and expenditures are at 20.97% of the budget. If we go to page 7, however, you'll see that through September, we are starting to receive funds from our core revenues, such as property taxes, motor vehicle title tax, and business occupational taxes. So we are confident that those will catch up to our budgeted numbers pretty quickly. Our expenditures for our departments and general fund are shown pages 9 through 28. Overall, our operating expenses are trended as projected by the approved budget. And the remaining pages cover special revenue, capital projects, debt service, and enterprise funds for your review. And that concludes the September financial report.
Any questions on the financials? All right, well, thank you very much. Well, Mr. DiGiulio, you're up.
Mr. Mayor, I move adjournment.
Mr. DiGiulio moves adjournment. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. DiGiulio, seconded by Mr. Paulson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We are adjourned.